What's going on, guys? Quick shout out to our gold level sponsors, Anglesey Family Chiropractic. They're out in Spokane Valley. They're also here in Coeur d'Alene. Go check them out. Dr. Craig Anglesey is amazing. He'll get you feeling nice and good. Also want to give a shout out to Training is Ritual. These guys are a great MMA apparel company. They've also got gear to hook you up. If you're into death metal or horror movies or jujitsu, leg locks, this is the brand for you. Really cool designs, very unique. Can't find them anywhere else. Awesome quality gear from Training is Ritual. Go check them out.
Jeff, you're a husband, dad, founder of Professionals at Play. You're a speaker and a lumberjack. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Sorry, I'm in my tree house right now, but that's the only place that's available. I have a very small house, and so, you go where you can.
Yeah, love it, man. I want to go back. I always love to start at the beginning there. I mean, today you're this high energy, outgoing speaker and entrepreneur. What was childhood like? Were you always that way as a kid?
If you asked my parents, they would say I was pretty much like a squirrel on crack. I mean, okay. I was your typical ADD, ADHD kid. I was always moving. I think I got in trouble quite a bit in school because of that. Some of my teachers I remember meetings mostly with the teachers being, oh, he's really smart. He's got plenty of smarts. He just cannot sit still. And so, yeah, I couldn't. They didn't have standing desks. I could listen and walk around the room. But I always had to be twitching and fidgeting. I always had to be doing something. So yeah, always high energy.
Love it, dude. And then, like I mentioned, you're the founder of Professionals at Play, which does keynotes, trainings, conferences for companies and stuff. Why did you decide to start this, and what's that all about?
Well, the big thing is that I started off in education. So I'm a certified school teacher, and I taught kindergarten, which you can imagine, like little tiny half humans, little 5-year-olds. They'd walk into the classroom, see this, and freak out and have accidents.
Right.
Which was fun for me. I thought it was great. I loved it. But being, working with 5-year-olds, the biggest thing was community. They would do absolutely anything. They were so trainable. They wanted to learn. They wanted to do everything to please the teacher. And so training them to do school, how to do school, was actually all about fun and how do we treat each other in the classroom. And so I started off in that arena, and I got pulled into doing like keynotes and programs for schools. And every time I do them, I would have educators say, why aren't you doing these for adults? My husband has a business, or, my wife is a nurse, or whatever, and they said, all of them, virtually every time I did a program, they would say, can you please do this for adults? Yeah. And so that's how it started. I mean, it was just people asking for it. Wow. Which is crazy.
Yeah, for sure, man. And when people hire you and your team to go out and do on-site or conferences, what can they expect from you?
Well, it depends on what they're looking for. So if they're looking for just a true team build and just they want to have fun, they want to laugh, they want to learn to get along better, we can totally do that. If they're looking very specifically for, we need this department to talk to this department, that will change the activities that we do because we want to make sure that it works for the client. And so really making sure that the client is clear on what they want, what the expectations are, what are the outcomes. And so making sure that that's really, really perfectly clear is the best. It's not great when somebody says, oh yeah, we just want to have fun. And then after you're done, they say, well, that was fun, but we really wanted to learn more.
Right.
I'm like, okay, great. Let me ask you a couple questions and we can do a debrief right there. And you can, because if you think about it, learning or communication and all these business skills, what I truly believe, they stem from play. Yeah. And if you use play in your daily life, 1, you're happier, 2, you're more fulfilled, 3, you're a more pleasant person to be around, your communication gets better, your productivity increases. If you really want to be innovative, stop what you're doing and play and have some fun, laugh, giggle. I mean, seriously, go out, get in the woods, do something that like fills your soul, and then come back to the project and see what happens. It's just natural. It's how humans are meant to be. We are not meant to be working, all the time. We're meant to play and have fun as well. So if you can incorporate that, it makes a huge difference in the workplace.
Yeah. Man, so awesome. Fired me up just right there, man. Thank you. Do you think anybody can be a speaker or an entrepreneur?
Yes. Okay. I really, truly, I do. A lot of people don't want to do the work to be a speaker or an entrepreneur though, because it's not easy. There's a reason there's a coaching industry, and I have coaches and I am a coach, and I I mean, I still use coaches for health and fitness and for food and for, you know, my business and for, you know, all sorts of things, for speaking, for being in front of people, for presenting. I had a coach.
Yeah.
And so it makes a difference, you know, having people in your lives that can help you out, but putting those people on the team is really challenging. Cause I don't know if you've noticed this, but all of a sudden, you know, Facebook and social media has changed and everybody's an expert. Like all of a sudden overnight they became an expert.
Right.
I'm like, it doesn't quite work that way. You know, I see these people that say, you know, I can train you to be an amazing speaker and be a multi-million-dollar speaker. And I'm like, no, you can't. You've never given a speech. I'm sorry. That doesn't work that way.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and anybody can be a speaker. Now, the level difference between good and great is just the number of speeches. Like you have to be able to do it all the time, or you're not going to improve. It's with anything. You got to practice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. For folks who are looking to get into speaking, what kind of tips do you have for them to kind of go that route?
Know your audience.
Okay.
That'd be number one. Know who you're speaking to. And 2, know your material. 3, that's 3 right there. 3, practice. Practice, practice, practice. So many people want to be a speaker and say, well, I'm going to get paid and then I'll get better.
Right.
You need to be good first. If you're getting paid, you need to be good. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I've seen some, I've seen some speakers that have claimed to be master speakers. Like I've got this credential and I'm like one of the best speakers in the country. And I was appalled and disappointed to call myself a professional speaker after seeing a couple of those people. And then I've seen people that are brand new that have just practiced and practiced and practiced and are naturally gifted. There are people that are more naturally gifted than others. That's true in
Sure.
any arena.
Yeah.
But that all of a sudden they go, well, how many times have you done this for free? I don't know, probably 20 or 30. Okay, cool. So you've actually got some practice under your belt. You know what you're doing. It's the same with martial arts. I know you're a martial arts guy. The amateur, if you look at the difference between an amateur and a professional, it's thousands and thousands of hours.
Right.
It's the same with anything. With speaking, you got to put in the practice. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep. Very cool. Now I'm a big believer in morning routines. I get up at 4 a.m. 6 days a week to work on, my podcast and practice and go through and reach out to guests and stuff like that. But what's your morning routine look like?
My morning routine has unfortunately changed a little bit with the whole stay-at-home thing, because I've got my wife and my kids are now in, and so my morning routine got a little messed up. So I generally wake up and I do 8-minute abs because I got to get my strong on. I just feel better after I do that. Usually have some coffee, do some reading. So I do some personal development. I'm reading, what am I reading right now? The Coaching Habit right now.
Okay.
And then I will have coffee with my wife, another cup of coffee, and we'll sit and chat because I wake up and I'm ready to go. I'm like, boom. And it's usually right around 6 a.m., if not maybe a little bit earlier, sometimes a little bit later. And then the kids are up by that point and it's, breakfast. And then it would be get the kids off to school. Now it's, okay, I've got calls and then they've got their Zoom meetings. So I'm trying to do technical support and make sure that we're getting all the assignments right.
Right.
And so I'm kind of gone back into educator mode.
Okay.
And then, by that time it's usually like, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the, morning. And I'm like, okay, now I can focus on business things, give the kids a break, go outside and play, and then do, 1 or 2 hours of business things, focused work. And then it's like, all right, let's get ready for, kids coming back in and, trying to keep the neighborhood kids away and, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's changed a little bit. And if I'm on the road, it's very, very regimented because you have to be, if you're traveling, which I tend to travel a lot now, not so much.
Okay.
It's easier. Apparently it's easier when you're the only person to take care of yourself. You don't have to take care of other people.
Right.
That makes habits a lot easier when you don't have to deal with like 9 different things going on at the same time.
Sure.
But that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, this COVID-19 has put such a damper, even on the speaking world as a whole, and everybody's kind of going to this digital thing. But what projects or events are you working on right now?
Well, actually, it's strange because this would be normally my downtime because I do a lot of work in schools.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
so, during the fall, start of school, everybody wants a speaker. Everyone wants to start off with a bang, which I'm like, okay, great. So this would be typically my downtime. So I've transitioned quite nicely into coaching local businesses and managers and CEOs and that kind of stuff, which has been really nice. and I've really enjoyed that process. However, I am still doing, I'm doing programs and making sure that all my clients are taken care of, people that I've worked with in the past. So I'm doing a lot of, I'm starting to do a lot of check-ins, like make them little videos and send the videos to the schools and to the businesses, just saying, I'm thinking about you. If there's anything you need, let me know.
Yeah.
So a lot of check-ins. I am doing some virtual conferences. So I'll do one next week or the week after. I'm doing a virtual conference out of Phoenix, Arizona, and
Cool.
For a group of entrepreneurs, specifically women in entrepreneurship group. So talking to them about how they can increase their speaking and presenting skills and focus and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah. So
Awesome.
Still working. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange, even though times are down, I'm not booking things for this specific, next 3 to 4 months.
Sure.
I am already booking for next year, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Why don't you transition to a couple fun questions here for us?
Okay. We both did the same hand thing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, totally.
All right. Okay. We're ready.
It's because the beards are synced, man. We're just like, So I've got these things. They're called pod decks. Essentially,
Okay.
they're just random questions for us podcasters. I'll pull one out. Hopefully it's not a flop, man, but we'll see where it goes. All right. So what's the cheesiest movie moment or line that you can think of?
The cheesiest. You complete me. It just popped into my head. I don't know why. Jerry Maguire. You had me at hello.
Oh, love it, dude. That's awesome. That is a very cheesy line. I love it, but it's a great movie.
It is it's a good movie. And like, if you think about it, you're like, okay, here's a guy that's like, it's so appropriate for right now because he's like at the epitome, the bottom where he's like, I'm struggling to survive. Like,
Yeah.
right. And he's got one team member and he, goes and messes it up. But at the same time, he's focused.
Right.
He's so focused on making sure that one client, if we as entrepreneurs just focus on one, what's the one thing we can do to move ourselves just forward a little bit every single day?
Yeah.
And that right there, that makes it a winner right there. You just get that message.
That's right.
Even if it's got cheesy lines.
Right. Absolutely. Does it take money to make money?
It helps to have
Okay.
money to make money.
Yeah.
If you want to make a lot of money, then you have to have a lot of money, in terms of making that money make money. However, I think with hard work and grit and gumption and stick-to-itness, you can make money. Anybody can make more money. I can always make more money. I can do anything to make money,
Yep.
but I can't make more time. So
Right.
where is your time value? Where's that at? That's more important to me.
Nice. What motivates you?
Oh man, my wife, my kids, my faith, getting up in the morning, helping people, being able to help people, that actually really, really motivates me. That's one of my driving forces, is actually helping people.
Right. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a music guy, so I have to ask this question, but what's your favorite type of music, or do you have a favorite band that you like to listen to?
Oh man. Okay. I'm all over the place in
Okay.
music.
Yeah.
I love heavy metal.
Nice.
I'm a big, huge Metallica fan. Old Metallica. It's strange, but I also love classical music.
Okay.
I love the mix when you mix the two together. Like Metallica S&M was like one of my favorite albums. Absolutely adore it.
Mhm.
Strangely enough, I don't know if you've ever seen the two cellos. It's two guys that play rock and roll songs on the cellos.
No. Wow.
Dude, you got to
Okay.
check them out. They are incredible. But I got kicked out of middle school orchestra because I was playing Metallica songs, and the orchestra teacher kept pulling me to the side, and she goes, "Okay, we're moving to high school," and she goes, "I don't think you should show up for orchestra. Don't sign up for it next year because the cello is for Bach and Beethoven, not Metallica." Well, I substitute taught for her 20 years later, and
No
she was
way.
teaching Metallica. She was using Metallica in orchestra to get kids to come and play.
What?
And I was like, I was 20 years too soon.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate.
Ahead of
And
the
so
times.
I was way ahead of the time. So I was so far on the outlier area that it was uncool. So,
Right.
but yeah, love classical music. Strangely, I also love opera. I'm digging
Okay.
opera right now.
Okay.
Love to crank it up and just rock out, which is weird.
Right.
Punk, pop, not so much a pop and R&B fan.
Yeah.
Although also old country, like Western,
Oh,
like
okay.
Johnny Cash, big
Yeah.
Johnny Cash fan.
Come
So
on.
yeah, anything out of the 60s. If it makes me happy, I like it.
Yeah. Very cool. Jeff, my bearded brother, thank you, man, for taking time today. This is such an honor to have you on my show, man. It's so much fun, dude.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you and your beard and everything that you're doing and having fun and making the world a better place. And okay, question for you.
Yeah.
Beard products. What are your favorites?
Dude, I use Ruzel. So I order it in a little canister.
Yep.
And I get it off Amazon about every 2 to 3 weeks. I'm on that order rotation. I think it's out of Holland, but it's a really, really good brand. And it's the only kind that my wife actually liked. Like I tried tons of oils, right? And she'd be like, ooh, that stinks. That's gross. Yep. And I came home with that and she's like, oh, I like it. I'm like, bulk order. You know, like,
Yep. Totally get that. You find one the wife likes and you stick with that. You don't vary it. You just go with it. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
What about yourself?
Well, I've gone through a couple. I've gone through Badass Beard Care, veteran-owned company. I like them a lot.
Yep.
They've got 2 or 3 that I really I like. The Viking is one of my favorites. It's very outdoorsy, very piney, and I like that one. And then I've used Ruzel as well.
Okay.
I like their stuff. And then Grave Before Shave.
Oh, okay.
Is another good one. Yeah. Okay. And that's the barber on between 3rd and 4th on not Locust. It's one of the streets above that. Okay. So yeah, he's got him there. It's pretty fun. It's a big skull with like a big giant beard flopping in the wind. It's awesome.
Sweet. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, Jeff, again, man, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really appreciate it. If you could go and share this everywhere you can, leave us a review, leave us a rating. We would really appreciate it. That helps us get the word spread out about our podcast and about our show, and we can bring you amazing stories of the people that we bring on for the Bearded Biz and the Top Rated MMA show. Thank you again. Have an awesome day.